It's been a good week of preparation. The vibe overall is a hungry one, and it helps not losing on the weekend before and building some momentum, hopefully for this game. So we understand it's a tough challenge going there, and they're a very good team. I mean, they're where they're at for a reason. Physical, they can skin you a bunch of different ways. They can break lines, play central on you. They can go out wide. A lot of service, a lot of numbers in the box. They just pose. They just constantly pose these questions that you have to solve, and you can prep as well as you can, but you still need to make some plays in the box, and hopefully we're efficient to going the other way. But it's a game we're looking forward to. We understand the hoopla behind this game with apparently they signed some German player. And he's, going to be in this game, and I'm sure it's going to be a real circus. But that's great. We should embrace that on our end and enjoy being part of these big moments that the league has to offer.
All right, thanks for that. Who wants to kick us off? Questions on Zoom? Victor, Jorge, Jesus? You'll go with Victor. Thanks, Victor.
Hey, Victor Riza here for Sport Destination in Soccer Tech. I kind of want to start on that because it has been a story this week. Have you followed this, I'm sure, as a side story, the Tomas Muller arrival, the press conference, the first training, and is that part of the added motivation? I'm just going off of some of the games, let's say LAFC, it seems like those type of games bring out the best from your team. Do you sort of see that coming into fruition this week because of the Tomas Muller signing?
I hope so. I hope it brings, as I said, I hope it brings some excitement. And I think as the years go, there's always these games that pop up that have a little something extra for some reason, whether it's a rival game, whether they just signed a player. I was in the first David Beckham game. I remember in D.C. when he first came, I was playing against him, and I remember us stepping up and having a great game in those moments. So it can work both ways, and hopefully it works in our favor. But we're under no illusions that this is a world-class player. I don't anticipate him starting, but who knows? Who knows? I'm sure he'll come into this game, and I'm sure he'll make them better as great players do. And, again, the energy that they have all week and the good feelings and the crowd. And so they're going to have some of that too. So it's just another challenge for us to try to tackle right now on this kind of pathway to trying to get into playoffs. And they stand in our way, and we need to try to get something out of this game.
No, I don't want to make this the full Muller show. But
One sec.
I want to sort of piggyback on just Muller. All
right, good to go, Victor. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good. You've been in this league for a long time, since its beginning stages. Do you get what feeling do you get when you see some of these moments, just as somebody who's been in the league for a long time and been a part of its growth?
We're getting used to it, I think, which is probably a good thing. When guys like Mueller come into this league, it's not a big surprise anymore. I think when David came in and Thierry going back to Lothar Matthäus and these players, these were not happening every week. And some of them worked, and some of them were too over the hill to affect our league. And I think that was something that the league has figured out over time. And by and large, when players that are, essentially done with their European careers or getting a little bit older, coming here, they're still having a lot of success. That's the reality. Especially, and every organization is different in what they want for their team, for their organization, for their fans. What is the appetite for that star power, and then coupling that with star power that can still play and affect your team, it can be a powerful thing. I coached Wayne. I watched Wayne Rooney come to our team and elevate our team instantly, not only from his play, but also the players around him. That 1%, 2% that he got out of Lucho Acosta right away because there was more eyeballs, because they were trying to impress Wayne. So, but I've also seen the other side. I've seen guys that come here and aren't up to the challenge and underestimate our league, and it doesn't work out. Or not even underestimate. Maybe they were in the wrong fit for the wrong style and game model and team. So each one's a kind of a one-off. To answer your question, what do I feel about it? I think anything that brings more eyeballs and these guys come and compete and bring our level up, I think it's a good thing.
Last one from me. You guys could obviously use 3 points this weekend. What are you telling your players ahead of this challenge here?
Try to get 3 points, but you have to do it in the right way. You just saying, let's go get 3 points without a plan doesn't make much sense. So, we try to give them a game plan that is logical and one that, offers us the best chance to get a result in this game. And when they came here, whether it's players, whether it's a coach, we didn't have it. We didn't have it, and they beat us up. They came down very quickly on us, and I don't think we were ready for that intensity and quality. They had lost 2 in a row before that, I think, and they were charged up, and I was disappointed in our energy, our combativeness, and look, I can put some of the tactical side on me. So hopefully we got the right game plan, and we're going to go up there and throw some punches and see what happens.
All right, Jesus, go ahead.
Hi, Ben. You were speaking about tactics. Looking back at the Austin game, it felt, at least to me, after you took Ponce out, it felt like Austin wasn't able to move towards the middle as much. Have you been happy with how Ponce has been playing defensively and based on the tactics that you put this team on?
I think Ponce wants more out of himself. I think it's when you have a season when it's choppy through injury, it's always tough to find your rhythm. He's still scoring goals. He's still putting himself in good spots. And his defensive effort should never be questioned on a guy. I don't care. On his worst day, he still defends as good as any defender in this league. So that's certainly not the question. I've said this from day one. We got to provide him and keep putting him in good spots. And then he's got to continue to be available and mobile and do his job underneath. Also be a threat in behind. It's a tall task to be a forward for our team. And we keep working with him. He keeps pushing himself physically to get back to, I think 100%. So I think if anything, it's that choppiness through these little nagging injuries throughout the year that has maybe not allowed him to be at his best. Again, but we're all a part of this. This isn't individuals. That you can make that case for everybody this year, and the coach as well.
We saw Jack play a lot more towards the middle in the Austin game, mainly towards the second half of the game. Is that somewhere where we can see him play more throughout the rest of the season?
Listen, part of Jack's
good results.
Yeah, part of Jack's maturity is figuring out what the game needs for him to impact it on the offensive end, and he's starting to figure that out. And teams are circling him, as I've said many times. They're getting after him. They're going to be physical with him. So how can he manipulate the game offensively? How can he find the next pocket and be in the still get as many touches as he needs to so he can affect the game?
And a final question for me, going back to the Austin game, when you saw those last 20, 25 minutes, you saw how well the team played. Were you asking yourself, where the hell was this team in the first half?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but, I think sometimes what you guys don't always understand, is, we've had some guys that come off the bench and have good performances, and then they've, get starts, and then maybe the performances isn't at the level, and then they, so still figuring this out of who's ready to go from the get-go is a challenge that I've had, and it's on me to figure that out. At Austin, it wasn't necessarily, I don't know if it was the group, but really the story of that was just turnovers. There was 20 turnovers in that first half that we just pissed the ball away against a team that likes to have the ball as well. So I don't care what half you do. If you just give the ball away in areas where we don't need to give the ball away 20 times, not a good recipe. So those are individuals. And that wasn't like oh, this guy did 20 or this guy did 15 and this guy did 5. It was like 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. So I can't take the whole group off. And then it was down 2-0, and then it's game state. In some ways, it's when you come in as a sub and it's 2-0 down, you're going. It's a different mindset from a mindset of starting. So we just got to keep pushing. It's good to have guys off the bench, but I'm also looking for guys to take the reins and say, this is my starting spot. You're not taking me out, coach. I want to start every game. And we're still looking for that.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Jorge, go ahead. Jorge?
Come on, Jorge.
Coach.
Morning.
My bad, Coach. Coach, you finally had a full week, to regroup, rest. I mean, obviously not resting every single day, but getting to work. Just how is your group doing? How is Carlos being implemented into the squad? Just overall, your team.
He's fitting in very nicely, and we're getting some guys back. Eric's been trained today. So we're starting to get some of these bodies back again, and hopefully they can stay healthy. So it was a good week of training. And every time one of these guys comes back in, it brings a little new energy. Antonio's brought some new energy and belief with the group and with the result in Austin. So we're trending, as they say.
Coach, you mentioned earlier as well, the team, Vancouver came here, took 3 points from you. You're a good side. As a visitor, just what would it mean to get those 3 points? They're very meaningful.
This would be a bit, result their way is it's very difficult. You look at their record at home and the confines, the indoor, the turf. It's a great place to play, and it's a nice little trek there. So we're certainly the underdog, but I think we'll relish in that situation, and we understand what they did to us here, and I think we got a good picture of them at a high level. So we somewhat know what to expect. It doesn't make it an easy job. As I said, they pose a bunch of different questions, and they are well rounded. They solve problems, and they can hit you again with transition, with builds. With early service, numbers in the box. So it's not a one-trick pony. We just have to be at our best in what we do, and both with the ball and without.